Welcome to, we're going to have to describe this as Wacky Wednesday because today we scheduled a very, very special young lady to be with us, and the program is going to be devoted to her and what she's been going through and what she's handling and a fundraiser she's working on and just all about her. And we were going to share things with you. Guess what? Something took precedence over us, over live TV. She had a test this morning. So the program was designed today to talk about and to share with you what your prayers have meant for Abby Collins. Abby's in school this morning, so I'm here solo. But let me tell you something. Sometimes the Lord has a plan that's better than my plan or your plan or Jennifer Bandana's plan or anybody else's plan. Sometimes things are meant to be. Late yesterday afternoon, after I would describe yesterday as like that crazy day in my life. It was depressing, wild, sad, funny, nuts. I mean, it was just a nutty day. It was just one of those days I'm like, okay, Lord, how much more are you going to lay on me? And then my daughter Dawn goes to the doctor, and we need your prayers. They are testing. She has had some really serious fatigue issues, and fatigue is one of those things. All women suffer from fatigue, but we don't take care of ourselves because we're too busy taking care of this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. We have commitments to other people. Because Dawn had such a huge garden this year, and she was up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning putting up corn, canning, making kraut, making soup, making some of the best salsa you ever put in your mouth. She did not attribute the fatigue to a health issue. She kept saying, "Come, Mom, I'm just worn out. I'm just tired. I'm just so tired I can barely stand up." Then her feet started swelling really, really bad. So today, Dr. M, take care of my little girl. Dr. M is going to do an EKG. They are looking at congestive heart failure. Now that is something at 37 years old, you just don't think about that. But women, be aware of what your body tells you. If you are tired, that's normal. But if you are super tired, that is not normal. So last night I asked for prayer, and boy, the prayer warriors came through, and I have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So today, because Miss Abby's not here, and I didn't know this till late last night, kind of have a little special something for you. You know, we talk about the Kaylors a lot, and I talk about what they mean to me just as friends. Forget the music, forget that they are gospel stars, I guess you could call them. They are amazing people, and they taught me so much about living. And I think they do a song called "I'll Live Again" that is Mr. Brackett's favorite song. They are wonderful, wonderful people. And one night, a year and a half or so ago, we went over to a little tiny church off 411, I think it was on 140, out in the country. Just thought, well, we'll just take this back road and go over, and we'll go check out this little church where the Kaylors are singing. Perfect timing. It was great. We walked in there, and I'd forgotten that that is the market where we were on television on Sunday mornings over there. Heart of the Home started over there years ago, like 7 years ago, and we had so many viewers in that area. I forgot that might be some of their church base. So we walked in the church, and it's like, oh, there they are, and we talked, and we immediately made friends with folks. It was so cool. From that night, I met a wonderful lady whose daughter had been on drugs and was actually in jail at the time. And her children were living with her mother. And that night, the mother who plays the piano and the grandchildren, the mother who's in jail's children, got up and sang. And the little boy, who was, I think, 9 years old at the time, had written a really, really good song. And I thought, you're kidding me. And I kept sitting there listening to these words from this song, and I said, how could a 9-year-old come up with all of this? And then I thought maybe it was the life that he had lived because of his mom's addiction. So today I think it is perfect that things didn't work out with Abby. She's taken a test this morning, and that test is much more important than being here with me. But I want to share a little bit of that trip we took over to the little church off of, I think it was on 140, and I can't remember the name of it, and I'm sorry that I can't, because it was a precious, precious little church. But the Kaylors are the reason we were there. The Kaylors will be the reason we will be up at Salem number 2 on Saturday night, God willing. If everything's okay with Dawn and everything is cool, then we will be there at church. There are so many people who have stepped into my life to show me that I'm not the only person facing crisis. I'm not the only person who had a child who had a problem. I'm not the only mom whose child was diagnosed with cancer. You know, there's so many of us who bear the same exact burdens, and we don't know about it until a crisis hits and we ask for prayer. And last night we got so many cool messages, so many great people sending us just a word of encouragement. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, because today Dawn is having an EKG and she's having labs done. Now, we know that the great physician can do much more than Dr. M can do, but Dr. M can be guided by his hands. So we hope that everything will be great. We're really looking for a positive outcome. You know, when you've come from where this kid came from and you have made it through, she made it through some really, really tough times, but she is incredible. She's amazing. She and Angela both, think about it, 2 years. Ange was diagnosed last week, 2 years with cancer. She's doing great now. Now, the arthritis has given her fits, but she's doing great. So for me to have been a mom who could have stood at either child's grave today, I'm so thankful. And I want to tell you, I'm so thankful for your prayers. I'm so thankful that each and every one of you who contacted me last night put her on your prayer list. You know, continue to pray for Ange, and so many churches are praying for her. I feel it's going to make a difference. I really do feel it's going to make a difference. Now, the one thing, she's had a tough time, and she will tell you. She has asked, God, please take away my need for nicotine. And she says that's the hardest thing she's ever done. Now, if her heart's in trouble, she's got to give up the smoking, period. You know, so that's going to be really, really tough time. But it's hard. It is so hard. But somebody told me this yesterday, and Jean Hyde was with us yesterday, and I will tell y'all, because we had a little glitch last night. Yesterday's program will re-air today at 6 p.m. and again at 1 a.m. So for all you guys who belong to the churches where he's preached, and if he's preached to families' funerals, and you know him and you love him and you know and love that family, that program will re-air tonight at 6 o'clock and then again at 1 a.m. So this program this morning, today is the only time you're going to see it. But I want to share some of the folks that I met because of the Kaylor family. You know, we went to see them and to support them in a singing, and from that I came away with some really good messages that no matter where you hit, how hard the bottom is and how hard that fall is, you can still get up and you can move on. You will see the mom who was out of jail at this time, clean, with her children, singing on this show. Now, it could have gone the opposite direction. You know, it could have gone the opposite direction. The children could have ended up with their grandparents and never get to go back home to mom, but everything was good. And that day, we also have Deanne Rowland, who was singing that day, and another very, very special family. The Barkers will be on this set. And this is a time, it was just before Aunt Betty passed away. And I couldn't do this on a normal day, but because I really know that prayers are answered, I can do this today. She was the strongest force in the family. She was the one that everybody turned to. She was the one that everybody looked up to. She was the one that everybody went to with their problems. She was an amazing, amazing, strong lady. Now, prayers for her went up every single day, and prayers were answered. She was taken away from the pain she was suffering, and she has gone on to be with the Lord. It was a very, very tough time for her family, and her funeral said it all. You know, her funeral said it all. She was the person that held the family together. She was amazing. She was where everybody went for Thanksgiving. Everybody went there for Christmas. It was the place that the family gathered, and it is very important to today. If you have a special somebody, take just a second and tell them how much they mean to you. I think I told her, I didn't know her but a couple of years before the family lost her, but I think I told her a lot how much I loved her. She was an amazing, amazing woman. If there's an amazing woman in your life and she's tired and she thinks it's just tired, have her go to a doctor and have her get checked out, because sometimes fatigue is the sign of something not so good. And it's very important that, ladies, you take care of yourself. Husbands, if you see your wife really, really tired, then you need to suggest she goes to a doctor. And we want to send out get well and good day wishes to Miss Ashley Crawford, who is usually with us, but she had a little surgery and she's under the weather, getting better. So there you go. The women of the world quite often hold the world up. You know, we are very strong. We are very strong. And I told my sister something the other night. I was going to dedicate the book to her because she really inspired me to be a better me. And then I thought about it. I thought there are three really strong women in my life. My daughter Dawn, my daughter Angela, and my sister. All three of them went through something that was really, really traumatic when they were little girls. And I want to dedicate the whole book to them because those three women taught me so much about living my life today. Not looking back, not looking at what might have been, but look at what is today and accept it as a great gift from God. Accept today and sit back today. We're going to, a little flash from the past. And I think you will enjoy, I loved meeting this family. The grandmother had been with a gospel group for years, and she plays the piano very, very well. The young man not only played the piano, but writes songs. And just for me to have the opportunity, I believe I was in the right place at the right time. And I also believe that in God's plan, there's no such thing as coincidental. I wasn't just there accidentally, and I wasn't just there because we got lost or had a flat tire. I was there, and it was in God's plan. So we're going to share a little bit of that program with you, and you will hear us talk a little bit about Aunt Betty. And for you who knew the family, you know that she's gone on to be with the Lord. But that also means that prayers were answered. Today, I'm going to ask all of you to please pray for Dawn. She is nervous. She is worried. She is also has a lot of faith. And I think that she is so determined to get better and do well. And whatever they tell her she'll have to do, she's been eating right. She's been taking vitamins. She's been doing everything except she's had a really, really tough time with the nicotine. And she has really struggled with that. She tried. She couldn't. She tried again. She's been hypnotized. She's tried everything. So I think somebody said yesterday, Gene Hyde said it best. He said, I laid my tobacco on the dash of my truck and I said, God, take away the desire for this stuff. And he said he never picked it up again. So maybe that's the key to this. I don't know. But today, please pray for Dawn. We're going to go to our sponsors. We're going to take care of all of that. We are going to feature a young man who, a lot of you know Jackie Fortner. He was with a lot of different groups over the years, but one group in particular that wore red coats every time they showed up to sing. And we're going to feature a song today called Here I Am. And it's about a little lost lamb. And it doesn't matter where you are in life. If you've gone aside from where you need to be and you're not exactly where you need to be in God's plan, you can come back and be exactly where you're meant to be. We want to share this music with you. I've had this CD a long time, and I see him at singings every once in a while, but our paths don't cross as often as I'd like. He's a super, super guy, and we're going to feature his music today. We are also going to, I think if we share Deanne's music and the Barker Brothers are going to be singing this Saturday, 9 a.m. at the Tri-State Electric membership meeting, and then Saturday night right here locally up in Young Harris at Brothers' second anniversary. These are local folks who have made a difference in your life, and we're going to talk to the Barkers on this interview you're going to see. Angie Barker does a song called Family Chain. And it is an amazing, amazing song. And to see her do this, you understand that the words from this come straight from her heart. I don't know who wrote it, but now Angel Spirit is doing it. It is one of those songs, if you've lost a family member, you know the words to this will really touch you. So we're going to go to that today too. Today is going to be a day about sharing people who've made a difference in my life with you. So we're going to do that. We're going to take care of our sponsors right now. Then we'll be back and a little bit of music, a little bit of think about somebody that you might pray for today that you think might be hurting. And guys, if you see that your wife is more than tired, and it's not just tired because she's been chasing kids all day, doing laundry, cooking meals, canning, sweeping, doing all these chores, then get her to a doctor. It's very, very important because early diagnosis sometimes makes a great difference. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Today is about unlikely people being on television. We've talked about this every day this week. We started with some some unlikely folks to be on television on Monday, and we've progressed all the way through. And during the week, we talked about the Barker brothers quite often. The Barker brothers are one of those groups that started out. Whose idea was this, Scott?
I'm not sure. We used to sing in church, and the boys were so small, that Jonathan, actually, we'd stand him up on the mourner's bench, right there beside the pulpit. He'd sing. He was so small, he didn't even realize he wasn't supposed to be doing that. Jeremy, he just, he grew into it just naturally. He sang right off the bat. But.
Now, talk about natural talent. Now your boys have sung in so many places. You just did a gig down at the World Congress Center.
That's right.
And we have to say that was on a snowy night. It was tough getting home.
It really was. I guess those folks then wondered if the hillbillies were going to leave. But, yeah, we had a great time. It's, they really, you'd be surprised. People like to see families, and it's refreshing to them to see a family together out doing that. And everybody will say, oh, I know y'all get to spend a lot of quality time. So even when things are not going so well, you're together.
That's right. How many miles do you think y'all have traveled? We have been, what's the furthest point we've been with the Barkers? North Carolina? Knoxville. You went to Knoxville with them. Yeah, and Bell Buckle. And we will be going back to Bell Buckle in the near future. I enticed people talking about the food. Bell Buckle also offers some of the greatest talent in the world because it's just inside the door before you get to Nashville. So it's kind of a stepping stone to get to Nashville.
It's true. They call it a bed and breakfast for Nashville, and they bring a lot of talent down, out of Nashville, and they run the tour buses down.
Right.
And they bill it actually as that in Nashville. They'll pull them out and let them go see all the antique shops there in Bell Buckle and spend a day in entertainment for the evening and spend the night and have a bed and breakfast there in Bell Buckle.
Beautiful little town. Now, how far is it from Nashville?
It's about 40-something miles, I think, outside Nashville.
And it is probably, what's the name of the restaurant we eat at Bell Buckle Cafe?
It is.
Some of the best vegetables I ever put in my mouth. When do we get to go back? April 10th? Is that right?
It is.
I believe it is April 10th.
Some peach cobbler.
Oh, man.
That stuff was hard to turn down.
It was good.
And a little ice cream on that really made it go down well. It was good.
Now, when we go on April the 10th, you're going to open Lynchburg. Are we doing the radio show again?
We are.
Okay, radio.
The Old Time Country Radio Show with Paul Jones and there and Lynchburg. And in between, we're going to drive on up to Bell Buckle and about
for lunch. We might add for lunch.
At 1 o'clock that day, we're doing the J. Gregory Jamboree. It lasts from 1 to 3 their time, Central Time, and then that evening we're going to do a full-fledged concert there in Bell Buckle, and invite everyone to come on out. It'll be a lot of fun.
Y'all are going to be tired when
they're going to be tired. Now, how long did it take us to get there last time? Was that 3.5 hours? Is that about right?
That's about right.
So for folks who want, it's a good day trip.
Oh,
it really is. It's a good day trip. And we drive home. Y'all will probably spend the night, won't you?
Probably this time. We would, we had to drive home. We didn't have the money to stay.
That's bad.
Anyway, so we'd leave at, and we did this a lot, we'd leave at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we'd get back in the next morning.
3:30.
Right around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning,
Wow. Well, we have to say tonight you're going to be in Chattanooga, and we want to show this. This is, what's the name of this paper?
It's the Chattanooga Times. It's the insert in it. It's the FYI, edition, entertainment edition. And we're going to be down in Chattanooga this evening at Green Life. It's Green Life Cafe and Grocery.
And what time does it start?
5:30 if we're ready.
I love that. 5:30.
We have the rock slide to drive around.
Oh, that's right. And for folks going to Chattanooga, they have to go 136 now?
Well, we go 282.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We cross over the mountain, go into Chatsworth.
How long will it take you to get from your house to Chattanooga going that way?
Oh, close to 3 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's usually about an hour and a half trip.
How's the rock slide coming? Are they getting it fixed?
As a matter of fact, I think they're supposed to have a press conference today.
Okay.
And everybody's...
I had heard it was going well.
We heard that, yeah.
Good.
Maybe it's supposed to March 31st, I think.
Okay.
everybody just needs to get them a raft, and when they need to go,
Go.
This is true.
Go. Well, we wish you good things in your future. You have done something with your boys, and family chain is one of those things. How many kids are able to step on stage with their mom and see you give a testimony like you give? When you did Family Chain in Jasper, the whole audience teared up. You teared up. And you told us the story about your grandparents. Can you tell the audience the story about your grandparents?
Well, my grandmother had been sick for quite some time, and we just always assumed that if something happened, it would happen to her
Right.
before it happened to my grandfather.
And they'd been married how long?
Over 70 years.
Yeah.
He was 96 when he passed away.
Uh-huh.
And when he passed away, it was just a few months before she went, because it was as if she no longer had a reason to be here.
Right.
And so when I do that song, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
Is the love that they shared for each other and what family meant to them.
Right. And seeing your family and seeing your young sons, I love, now we know the boys are kind of hotties. So the girls do show up to see the boys. And we have to say, Wesley, he attracts a lot of the girls too.
He does.
So you have an audience from the very young to the very old. They all are inspired by what you do. And the fact that your family is good Christian family, travels together, never a crossword. Have you ever heard them say a crossword?
Never.
Never a
Don't
crossword.
listen to it. I've got to tell. I've got something I got to tell. We did a show over in Hartville, and actually they came and filmed it out of Greenville. I think it was South Carolina. I'm not sure. It was over out of South Carolina, a TV station, and we had to, sign a little release and all that, and I kept this guy that done it. It was in an old cotton warehouse. And they had some seats lined up in the first row and a half. They were all taken, and I thought, that guy, he was putting tape on them, reserved, and I forgot who it was he had reserved them for, one lady. Well, and I asked him, I said, are those folks not coming? He said, well, I don't know, they're supposed to. Well, right about 2 minutes before the show, it was just a whole gang of girls. They had, these girls had met.
Imagine that.
Anyway, and I said, and I told them boys, I said, good job, good job.
Fill them seats,
Today
boys.
is Wesley's birthday.
Is it? Well, happy birthday to Wesley. We love Wesley. He is such a good young man. We have something queued up that we want to share with the audience, and we want to share what it's like for you to step on stage and do Family Chain. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Heart of the Home theme song that you and the boys wrote, and the idea that how perfect it was, and how many times the perfect thought comes to your mind, like Go Down Moses, an amazing song that Angie Barker wrote. So right now we're going to let you enjoy Angie Barker and her family doing Family Chain.
Share with you for just a few minutes, if I can. My grandfather lived to be 96 years old, and he and my grandmother had been married over 70 years when he passed away. And my grandmother always said that he needed her to take care of him, and he always said that she needed him to take care of her. But my grandmother passed away within 6 months of my grandfather's passing. And they really needed each other. And when one of them was gone, the other had no purpose to be here anymore. And that song is very special to me, and I hope it was a blessing to you.
you. That was real good. Y'all pray for us. You know, I guess it's kind of strange to see somebody shed a tear, but that's just the way we are. We just have to go the way the Lord leads us, and y'all pray for us.
My closest friends have left for heaven. They are resting now, I know. Someday they'll live with Christ forever. And they never shall grow old. The family chain has now been broken. The missing links are safe, I know. I pray they'll all be joined together in that city built of gold. Daddy was the first to leave us, and it grieved my mother so. Right away, she had to join him. They are happy now, I know. My days on earth will soon be ending, for I can see the setting sun. The broken links will come together, reuniting one by one. The family chain has now been broken. The missing links are safe, I know. I pray we'll all be joined together in that city built of gold. Yes, in that city built of gold.
I don't know about y'all, but I could listen to that song every single day. Love that song, love that family. They mean so much to this community. And don't forget, this Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, Tri-State Electric, for their yearly meeting, the Barkers will be performing. And I believe it's going to be at Fannin at the Performing Arts Center. Okay, there are always things going on in our community, and we have some really, really good news right now. Dawn just called, and I didn't get to talk to her, so I don't know why the feet are swelling so bad. They're looking at different things. They're still doing labs, but the EKG was good, and so that is really good news, and thank you for your prayers. Prayers are answered, and we can come together and help each other. Now, on Monday, September the 19th, at the LJ First United Methodist Church, there's going to be This is family to family education program. This is a free 12-week course for family and friends of individuals with a serious mental illness. Every single day of your life, you see somebody who has gone into a deep depression. You see somebody who can't handle the loss of a loved one. You see somebody who possibly couldn't handle the loss of a job. There are so many things today in today's world who you might have never had a mental illness, and then all of a sudden something takes you down to a deep depression. Or you may come from a family with mental illnesses, but there is hope and there is help. This is a free 12-week course, and this is family to family education program. Once again, it is from 6 to 8 p.m. beginning Monday, September 19th. Now to register, and this says class size is limited and it fills up quickly, call 706-636-4814. Now, today, a very special place is celebrating with an open house. The open house is at Burnt Mountain Center today, beginning at noon. Go by. They are located, if you go to the Piggly Wiggly and you hang a left, is that right? Yeah. Or right, depending on where you're coming from, and you go out just about a mile past the little duck pond. Everybody in Jasper knows where the duck pond is. Burnt Mountain Center is a place that offers hope for people who may not have been employable, who may not have had anything to do with their time during the day. And the Burnt Mountain Center opened, I think, over 30 years ago, and it is amazing the clients who have gone through there and the relationships who have been made and the amazing time that is given back to the community, whether it be Stuff in the Progress. A lot of the guys do that for their job. Some people assemble packages for Royston Corporation. I think Chart Industries is involved in them. So many different companies have given back so that these very special folks can have a job. So go by today and say thank you to the Burnt Mountain Center. Now, we hope to share with you something today that will touch your heart. I hear from moms all the time who may have a child who's addicted to drugs, who may have a child who has an alcohol problem, who may have a child who's been away from the family for a long, long time. And I think Lance Carpenter says it best when he says, I'm setting your place at the table. Don't ever close that door to a point that your children can't come home. And today we're going to share a story of true success. Sue and her grandchildren were in church one night when we were there. We met them and we developed a friendship immediately. I had no idea that the great success would happen that did. Their mom got to come to the studio with them, and their mom got to sing with these kids. Now, the 9-year-old boy had written a song, and basically it was because of the life situation. He had been taken from his mom while she was incarcerated. He was with his grandmother. He was in church all the time, and it made such a difference in their lives. And I hope to share that with you today. No matter what your family is facing, no matter what kind of turmoil has happened, you can put it back together. So we're going to share this. The mom's there, the grandkids are there, and Dee and Roland happened to be here that day too. So this is a lot of family and a lot of kids and a lot of mixing it up, but we want to share this with you. Right now we're going to go, and I can't remember the name of the town they're from. I think it's near Rockmart. And they drove a long way to be with us that day. Yeah, and these kids, they were like 9 and 14 when we did this, and this was about a year and a half ago. They've grown up a lot now, and I want to have them back in the near future, and let's check their progress and make sure their family is still together. It was an amazing success story that day. Now, the only thing wrong with this is something happened to his mic, and you may not get to hear a lot of what he sings, but he wrote a song, and I hope we'll get to do that. Let's go to Sue and her grandchildren. Now, think about this. This was a divine intervention. I didn't know these people from Adam's House Cat. Walked into a little bitty church to see the Kaler family sing, and then left with these folks as friends, and they came to be on the show with us. So sometimes things happen that you kind of scratch your head and say, didn't think that would happen. Quite often it does, and it might be a little intervention we got going on here. We're going to take you now to a program about a year and a half ago, and I think you'll enjoy this. Our travels. And our travels take us to some wild and crazy places and some cool, calm, collective places. We ended up in a church Saturday night. You took me the back roads. I could never have found this little church. Was there a reason we were there?
I believe there was.
I believe there was. The music was great. We were there to see our friends, the Kaler family. And we have to say, the Kalers were scheduled to be here today, and we had a little issue with one of them couldn't get off work. Worked out perfect. It was all in God's plan. from that visit with the Kaylors, we picked y'all up. Now, Caleb, introduce, who is this lady standing beside us?
This is my grandmother, Sue, and then that's my sister, Megan.
Megan's beautiful. Do you have to fight the boys off?
No.
No. No.
Our dad takes care of that.
Does he? Okay. Uh-oh, your mic's not on. For some weird reason, it's lit up. It's not working. I don't know what's wrong with it. Hold it up. There you go. There you go. Okay, we picked you up in a church. Grandma did a couple of songs first, is that right?
I did.
And you used to travel with a group?
I did.
What was the name of the group?
Pleasant Hill Trio.
Okay. How many years did you travel?
We sung for probably 10, 15 years.
Okay.
Where is that church?
It's in Rome, Georgia, between Cedartown and Rome. Pleasant Hill Baptist Church is where we go.
Okay. Now, you have been raising the children for a while. You had them for quite a while while their mom was away.
I did.
And Caleb, can you tell us where mom was?
Well, she had been on some drugs and drinking alcohol and stuff like that, and we always stayed with our grandmother or dad because she always took care of us, her and Pawpaw. And then we got a call one night. We was all sitting in Mama's house, and we found out that Mama had went to jail, and we was all sitting on the couch, gathered around, and then now look where she is. She's saved, and we're trying to find us a church.
That's right. And so the talent, God has a plan. Maybe mom was where she was supposed to be, so you could spend time with grandma, and you could learn to sing and play the piano. How long have you been singing?
No, how long it was?
Since you were at least 4.
Yeah, about since I was 4.
And how long have you been playing the piano?
For about 4 or 5 years.
Did you have lessons, or did it just come naturally?
Well, at first I started off going to lessons out here in LJ, and that didn't work out because I didn't like it. And then
Sounds like Nicholas Martin.
then I got a keyboard, and I just started playing.
Okay.
And God gave me the talent.
Yes, God did give you the
Yes,
talent.
he did.
Yes, he did. Now, Megan, where'd you get your talent?
I don't know. All my family sings. I started singing when I was littler, but I didn't start singing in front of people till I was about 6 or 7 because I'm shy. Yeah. And I just sing. I sing in front of churches, some like Momo's church. That's about it.
Are you nervous about today? Because y'all have never been on television. And when I asked you Saturday night, I think you lit up like a light bulb and you were ready.
Yeah.
And I think Granny was ready.
Well,
and
they shouldn't be a bit nervous because it just
comes naturally.
it just comes out,
Yeah,
you know, and it
yeah.
looks like it's so easy, you know. It's like natural to y'all.
Well, I just thank God that He has helped us with the things that we've been through.
Right.
And like Caleb was talking about his mother, she's made a change in her life.
Right.
And we are so happy. Now, she was singing when she was a child. The group that I sung in, she sung with their child. And they sung on stages all over the place. And we
Do you
went
think
to
at
churches.
the end of today's program we can get Mom to join y'all for a song?
Well,
maybe?
we possibly could. She is with us.
Good,
And I thank
good.
God that she was able to get off and come with us.
That's right. That's right.
And she's turned her life around. She's been going to some classes to help her, and I said, well, maybe you can help the people that are there to
That's
give
right.
them your experience.
That's
and
right.
you know, God works things out in ways that we never really know.
Right.
Sometimes we want to question Him and say, why? But I know that God's in control.
Now, I don't say why, I say when. Because
Well,
I'm afraid to say why.
Yeah.
But I do the when sometimes, you know, like,
Yeah.
when are you going to straighten my child up? When is it
Well,
going to change?
I did that for a long time. I did that. When I was growing up as a child, my dad was a pastor, and he encouraged me so much. And when I started playing the piano, the first song I played at church, I made the biggest mess you've ever heard. I said, Daddy, don't ever ask me again. Never. I'll never. But he kept encouraging me. That's kind of why I want to encourage them, because they have a talent.
Right.
And I praise the Lord for it. We don't want any respect of ourselves. This
Right.
comes from God.
Oh, yeah.
And He is everything to us.
That's right. Well, the other grandfather, you punched me when the other grandfather was giving his testimony. because my child had been on drugs for 17 years. And I was the fixer. I was going to change it. I was going to make her stop doing drugs. I was making her go to rehab. I was putting her in facilities. I was locking her down under lock and key. Nothing was working. And then one day, I said, God, I cannot handle it. It is all up to you. And from that moment on, the peace came. And I said, sometimes I kind of look around and think, my life is certainly not perfect today, but I am at such peace. And I said, all I had to do was give it to him. What took me so long? Why are we so slow to learn? But as a mom, we're fixers. You know, we want to fix everything. And I learned I couldn't fix my daughter. There was nothing I could do. Not one thing. I'd tried it all, done it all, spent every dime I could spend, done everything. And then one Saturday night, I got one of those in the middle of the night drunk rage phone calls. And I just prayed all night long, and I said, God, it's up to you. If she lives through this night, if she lives through tomorrow, it is up to you. Right. And from that moment on, I've just, you know, I don't worry about it. I just don't worry about it because it's between her and the Lord. So it's
well,
over.
That's kind of how my husband has been, and he gave his
Was
testimony.
it your husband
That's
that he talked?
husband.
Okay, because he when he punched me, I said, yes, I know. He's telling my story.
That's true, and he had actually just got hard on the Lord, and we had been in church all of our life and had raised our children in church, and he just got kind of wayward, and you know, he just thought, Lord, you're not doing this, and I'm just giving up. And he actually got out of church for almost a year.
Wow.
And it was a hardship on me, being the pianist.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew I had to go to church. I had to be there. Some days I went, I couldn't smile, I couldn't talk, but the Lord kept saying, you need to go. This is you. You've got to do what is for you. Let him take care of himself. And I came to that grips on things that I could just do what God had gave me to do. And I had to pray for him that the Lord would just turn him around. And it's made a big difference in my husband's life, and the children could tell you that. It's really made a big difference in him.
Well, now, Caleb, let's talk about a song you wrote. You did it Saturday night. Tell me a little bit. Was it about being thankful?
Thank you. Well, I was sitting there. We was actually on a boat trip. We was in Chattanooga on the boat, and we was talking about making a group, like me and my friends was talking about making a gospel group, and they said, will you write a song for us to sing within that group? And, well, I actually sat there and I was thinking about how thankful I was for my grandparents and how thankful I was for my sister and my brothers and my mom for getting her life right. And because I had lived with my mama and papa for a long time, and I had lived for my daddy for a long time, and I was just thinking about how thankful it was to be able to still hear a sermon and still hear gospel singing with my life going crazy with all that happening.
Right.
And I just thought about how thankful I was.
Well, I can't wait for the audience to hear your song. So right now we're going to take a what?
If you don't get cold chills when you listen to it, then you better go to the emergency room or something.
Something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
The whole church was crying Saturday nights. You brought that whole church, and I will say the church was full. And I, you know, I'm a crybaby, but I looked around and everybody was just bawling. This is a testimony. This is a song. This is the songs you're going to do come straight from your heart. These children are amazing stories because they could have gone totally wrong. It could have been so bad, but it turned out so right. And in God's plan, 99.9% of the time, we wait patiently, and then we find out it is exactly as He planned it, and it is right. It is what's meant to be.
That's right.
So right now we're going to take a break. We're going to go back to the weather for just a second, and then we're going to scoot them over to the piano so you can enjoy Caleb, Megan, and Granny Sue. They're going to bring some music to you in just a second. One little quick announcement, and then we want to go to the kids' song. Just now, September 14th, just a few minutes ago, 8-pound, 2-ounce Ella Blue White went, whoops, I'm in the world. And parents are Emma and Jason White. Congratulations. And Lois Chastain called this in, and that means this baby is just like barely old, just right, brand new right here today. Ella Blue White, happy birthday to you. 8 pounds and 2 ounces. There you go. We're going to go right now to these kids. I hope we get this song in. This is the song that Caleb wrote, and to be in that church that night, I will never forget the moment. I will never forget the song. I will never forget what it was like to look around and see the whole congregation in tears. Tears of joy, because this is a great success story, and there are many stories who don't have great successes, and there are some that are just absolutely amazing. I could not do today's program without saying a good day to my buddy Bill Pittman. He is the most amazing success story of all. I love him, love him, love him. Right now, let's go to Caleb and his family as they sing a song. I hope this is the one that he wrote.
Thank you. It's all I can say for the singing and the preaching and the good old-fashioned way, for my brothers and my sisters and all that's around. Thank you, Lord, for now I'm heaven bound.
Okay, Brackett said it best. If you did not get a cold chill from that, you need to go to the ER and get checked out. That young man wrote that song from his heart. Love to hear that message, love to hear that song, love to see that family. What a great, great success story. Now, I'll tell you another success story that's going on here in LJ. Julie's Restaurant has come on as one of our new sponsors, and we want to say good morning to Julie and the gang, and also to welcome her to Jasper, because she is opening her second location in Jasper in the very near future. We're excited about that. You know, with gas prices, you got to do what you got to do and stick close to home if you can. So there you go to Julie and her gang. Happy, happy day. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we will be re-airing yesterday's morning show. Because we had a little glitch last night, it wasn't re-aired, and boy, did the phones ring and did we get some calls. We want you to be able to share. Gene Hyde is such a success story. I didn't let him tell it all yesterday because I wasn't sure how far he would want to go. He is the oldest of 16 children. He was raised by his grandmother. Many of his siblings were raised by other family members. He is the oldest of 16 children. He got it right. He was very, very fortunate to get it right, because to be a child in the situation he was born into and the different things that his family had gone through, he is the oldest of 16. He is an amazing, amazing success story. He called his wife yesterday and said, honey, was I okay? Did I do anything to upset you? She said, I just cried. Yeah, his life story makes me cry because it is such a great success. He started out in the greatest poverty you can imagine. He has done so very well, and the thing that I love about Gene and Carolyn both, they give back and they do for others, and that is so, so important. So tonight at 6 o'clock, we will re-air yesterday morning's program. Don't let this confuse you. We're not going to drive you crazy if we can help it. And then at 1 a.m., we will re-air yesterday's program again for those late nighters who didn't get to see it. We want to share his message with you. But I also wanted to tell you there is more to the story. You know, he is the oldest of 16, and a very, very rough time could have turned into something very negative, but such a positive life. So it doesn't matter where you started, it's where you end up, and that's so, so important. Tonight we will be airing his story. We'll be saluting the American trucker. This is Truckers Appreciation Week. I told y'all yesterday, do something nice for a trucker. If you're in a restaurant and you see a truck driver about to pay for his meal, pay for his meal. You know, do something to help the other guy. Or just go over and say, thank you, I appreciate the job you do. It is something we can do for each other. Thank you so much for your prayers. Dawn called. She said her heart is good. She's very, very excited about this. Got to find out where the swelling's coming from. So keep praying, and I promise you, we will keep you updated. Your prayers make a difference in my life and in each other's lives. Be our Facebook friend. Get on there and send us messages. And don't forget, check out Hello North Georgia. That is one of those things where we can keep in touch with what's going on with us right here at ETC3. Here comes my buddy, Rich Scott, Trading Time. Buy, sell, or trade. It is that time. Get your fall cleaning done. We'll see you again only on ETC3.
There were 99. Blows a trumpet and we rise up in the air in less time than one split second.